Oh, we're live. All right. I lost everybody. Ugh. Tresho9, what is going on, everybody? We are live and direct. This week has been crazy. It's a Friday night at home, chilling right now. And I just want to know if I'm live. You dig? Says you can't see me. What does that mean? What does that mean? There it is, baby. Friday night, what we want to do is something just a little bit different. We want to go live on Fridays. My wife was here, and then we had some technical difficulties, and she had to go to sleep. And you can just see all my crotch here. That's crazy. It's not that kind of show. That's cool. That is cool. All right. Tresho9, everybody. What's up? It's Friday night here in Maui, and we are feeling super good. Super duper sweaty, and it's been a hot one here. And so don't mind the sweat. It's all good. I'm gonna try to find some tunes to kick us off, but we were gonna talk about women and how they how my wife submits and what that looks like. She was gonna talk a little bit about that. And yeah. So yeah, I think this is what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna go StreamYard. I think we're going StreamYard, baby. But Friday nights we wanted to do something late night, kind of late night. It was supposed to start at an hour ago, but we're here now, and yeah, Tresho9, baby. Let's see here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bless, sir. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Music hasn't started yet. Let's get some tunes on. Gotta have some tunes. I usually don't hold the mic, so I have free hands, but now I'm like, let's see. We got sound here. What's going on? Yeah, I think it's interesting. There's a lot out there right now, to be honest with you. I believe that, just in my opinion, the state of relationships are just in general, right? I know there's pockets of people and small groups that are still doing what I call relationships the proper way. And the thing is that everybody thinks that their relationship is good, or they don't, or it's bad, and they don't really give a care how bad it is. And I have chosen to study this thing and devote not my entire life per se, but most of it, because I mean, relationships is what we got. It's why we're here, and I think it's extremely important. Relationships are extremely important um, to society because it's how you got here. It's how you got here. And the reason why I put it that way is because it makes sense. Because every time I see somebody, I see a relationship. Every time I see somebody, I see a relationship. And that means that I have the responsibility as a human to interact with that person, or I have the opportunity to interact with that person. Right? I don't have to per se, but when I'm interacting with people, um, I'm 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 aware and I'm conscious of what's going on. And a lot of people are, a lot of people move this way, um, and they get into these relationships that we talked about it last time we were on a couple weeks ago, and they get into relationships too fast, and they don't really do vetting. Yeah, they don't vet. And you should, right? You should. There's in my relationship, in my marriage, that uh, we do things just a little bit different, um, just because of our beliefs and where we want to go. And it doesn't really make sense, right? If how do I want to put this? How do I want to put this? But it doesn't make sense to not create your own relationship. You should be creating your own relationship. Meaning you have the opportunity to create. And when you look at it that way, when you look at it as creating something, then what happens is you take stake in that relationship, and you're able to devote a different level of commitment to that relationship. And we say that as the type of dynamic of a relationship that we have, I hold a devotion. I am devoted to this person. Now, it doesn't mean I'm subject to them, or it doesn't mean that she's lord over me and I'm a lord over her. Actually, yes, we do play that role. We do play that role, and it's not something that we created it based upon our characteristics and who we are, right? So our nature state, our natural state, we create these dynamics that just work. And because of that, we have been through some scrutiny, and it's all good though. Because here's the thing about relationship: because as you're creating it, no one else should be involved in that relationship unless you allow them to, right? And so I don't involve myself in anybody's relationship. Um, Family, friends, it doesn't matter. I don't meddle in their relationship, their business. I mind my own business. I'm mining my own business, and I'm minding my own business. And so, and I'm minding my relationship and minding my own relationship. And if you get that, you get that. If you don't, I don't know. Too bad. And so I do have this idea that when you are wanting to be with somebody, there's a level of you got to open up a little bit, right? For the woman, you have to stay guarded, right? But for the man, you have to really open up, and you have to open up not to her per se, but you have to open up to yourself. You got to get into a position, you got to get into a mindset that you're on your purpose. You're on your purpose. And if she cannot come alongside of you, then she gets kicked to the curb. End of discussion. End of story. End of discussion. And because she's going to slow you down and she's going to derail you. And you don't want to do that. Right. And I take the cue from Solomon. I look at Solomon's life, and I'm actually really diving into Solomon's life a lot more because he didn't do certain things right. Certain things he did right, but what he didn't do right is that he allowed his women to interject into his purpose, and he began to follow them, and look where it led them. That's why that's the downfall. You know what I mean? He allowed their customs and he allowed other gods to get in there, and he shouldn't have done that. And because he did that, then boom, you see what I'm saying? He loses everything, and he's not doing it properly, right? He's not doing, and then maybe some say he took too many wives, and too many concubines, but that's whatever, right? He had what he had. I don't remember total. I think it was like 1,000 or something like that. That's been documented. Wives and concubines all together. And so I think that taking his cue as the man, you are to be on your purpose. And so in the beginning, when you're getting to know this person, you're trying to create something, you're trying to build something, you're really building and creating yourself. You're creating yourself. You see what I'm saying? And when you create that avatar, you create the character, you create everything about that person. And you get to do that in real time. You get to do that in real time, just like right now. I'm doing that right now with this, even with this speech, I'm doing it right now. And so when you have that character and that character is set and you're in your purpose, my wife, she submits to that. She does have responsibility. You have to have responsibility. And sometimes you got to teach them that because they just don't know. It's crazy, man. It's poof, Lord Jesus. If you only knew, it's wild. It is wild. If you only knew, baby. It is super wild. I need to turn this. That's what I'm trying to do, is turn this thing down. There we go. There we go. Goodness gracious. And so men, be on your purpose. Always on your purpose. Always on your purpose. It was asked to me by a woman, right? So-called woman. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm not. They said they're having issues with their long-term relationship. Surprised that they're even together. But she asked me, what causes men's pain? Why are men in so much pain? And when she asked me that, I had the answer immediately, all ready to go. It's women. It's their lust of women. That is their pain, right? And if you look back and you look into certain stories and legends of, let's say, like, for example, the siren, or the, what do you call those things? The mermaids. And these sailors would go out and they got really hip to what was going on, and the distraction, they would put wax in their ear, and so they couldn't hear the singing that was being given, so they wouldn't be seduced. So as they're traveling through the oceans and on their purpose, getting somewhere to go conquer land or whatever, wherever they were going, right? they would put wax in their ear so they wouldn't hear the singing and the lullabies and this and that and get distracted. And then one of the captains would tie himself down to the boat so he wouldn't jump in after. And so that's the issue right there. It's that's the issue, is the man needs to be self-sufficient, self-contained. When you can do that, when you can learn that, and it's not that easy. I'm telling you right now. See, I am coming from the place of freedom, a man, and moving in that freedom of nature, moving natural. I demonstrate a very natural man, you dig? And so there's lots of freedom that I have that's given to me by God, I believe, because that's who I worship and that's who I listen to, and that's it. And it's when I'm off that, it's when I get off track and get lost in the sauce and allow their seduction to get me off track. That's when I fall. And it sucks because you do all that. You might think like, oh, I'll just go chase this person. You dig? I'll go chase this person. Chase, needy, chase. And you're doing all this chasing to what? To lose her. Because she's like, you're too needy. I don't want you, right? And as men, we forget. And even in my marriage, I do this. Even though it's like, so people are like, oh, but you're married. Why would you act like you're trying to attract your wife constantly? Yes, all the time. I have to basically every single morning. I've said this plenty of times in thousands of podcasts. Every morning you wake up, gentlemen, it is a new relationship. Every single morning. It doesn't matter what you did. You could one day you can make $1 billion. You can make $1 billion and be like, babe, we made it. The next morning you forget to make the tea right. You forget to do this, and that, and she blows up. Or the wind is a certain way, and the moon is this, and the sun is this, and the cloud is over here. Her attitude and this is happening and that is happening to the point where she's over here thinking like, what? You're like, wait a minute, babe, but we're rich though. She's like, I don't care. You didn't did it, baby. And she's always going to complain. This woman is complaining. That is who she is. That is what she does, because she's always testing you. And of course, men don't like that, but that's what's going on, right? But we stay on our purpose. And then we're going this way. If you're not going this way, this is the way we're going, then you get left behind. End of discussion. Sounds very harsh, but this is the reality, because this is how they think. They're not going to wait for you. They're not waiting for you at all. The wife has a responsibility. Right? And that's to become wife status. A lot of these women are not wife status. It's crazy out there. I'm telling you, the next pandemic, I'm telling you right now, and I want you to hear this. Hear this right now. This is what's coming. Is that women are going to be, because right now women are like, oh, I don't need a man. They say that in public, but in their minds, it's something totally different. But what's going to happen is that men are going to get hip to the game, and they're going to become self-sufficient, and they're not going to even need women anymore. And if they do, they can just go buy a woman. You dig? They can just go buy one because it'd be that much easier. But that's that. I've ranted too much. I've said too much on that that topic, and we moving into submission, and in your marriage, in your long-term relationship, or in a relationship that you are committed to, if you are committed to that woman, right? I do believe in love. I do believe in romance. I believe in relationships. I believe in commitment. I stand firm wholeheartedly on commitment on my part. The woman can do whatever she wants to do, but on my part, I am committed to who I am and the direction. I'm committed to God. That's it. That's it. I'm only committed to him. That's it. Everything else is added unto me by God. Everything else is added unto me by God. Everything else is added unto me by God. Everything. If I have it, if I have the opportunity, if it's coming into my life, it's because God allowed it to come into my life. And I have to realize that. And sometimes I forget that. I forget about that. And I try to like muscle things and create, or not create, but I try to like meddle into things where I shouldn't be meddling into. You know what I mean? And in your marriage, you wake up in the morning and you got to understand this. It's a new relationship every morning. And you have to take control over that relationship. You have to be the leader. And it's true that your wife has to allow you to do that, because you can try to lead. But here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. Knowing the information that I have right now, knowing what I know today, sitting here right now and who I am right now, this goes against, I've never really heard this on the internet at all. And it doesn't even matter, because I don't really care about what people say and at all. It is imperative, is extremely important that men go their own way. Right? So with that being said, if I have a woman, if I have a wife or a woman who's long-term committed to me, and I'm leading and I'm learning how to lead, I'm making mistakes and I'm making those corrections, right? And she decides I'm not going to follow. I don't want to. I'm an independent chick. This and that. I could do my own thing. Then she needs to go do her own thing. Bye. That's how I fix that right there. That's just how that's how I would fix that. Is bye. Bye. Yes. Bye. We know there's no more. There's no more. There's because she's not aligned with the vision. There's a vision that was cast out, and she doesn't want a vision. She doesn't want to follow that vision. And if I didn't have that vision, because without the vision, the people will perish. So my congregation, my family will perish if there's no vision. So I got to provide that vision. So I'm constantly going. That's why probably men have heart attacks first, and we die soon. I know I'm gonna die before my wife. Yeah. That just is what it is. You know what I mean? And so if your wife is not, and for her to lead, she's got to give up the control, which is hard for her because society has told her that she is the man. This is what society teaches you as women. You're the man. You're the man. You're independent. You are masculine, right? Go in your masculine and be mighty, right? Versus go in your feminine and be mighty, right? Because the powers is also in the feminine. there's an immense amount of power in that feminine energy and source. There's lots of it. And we need to understand where that's coming from and how to tap into that. And so I have to constantly tap into my wife, because my wife, she's the guide of me not killing myself. Right? Because I come home, I call her nickname is Pussycat. She's got a bunch of nicknames, but one of those nicknames is Pussycat, right? Just because, like, what does a pussycat do? What does a cat do? They're just laying around chilling. You know what I mean? There's like, there's no care in the world. You know, their eyes are closed. They open their eyes, they close their eyes. You know, maybe I'll go over here. I'll clean myself. I'll go get some food. And, you know, it's very peaceful, very wave like. It's in motion, right? That's why they're emotional, right? They're energy in motion. That's what that is. And so they move in energy and they feel the energy. You dig? And so that's why even, like, you know, in the dating scene, for me, because I read energy, I give it, I read it, I understand it. And because I'm still learning it, and especially when I was younger, I didn't know what was going on. Oh my goodness gracious. Whew. I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't understand how to navigate and send my energy before me. And now I send it before me. Now I just got to hone it in and see, you know, okay, is this the right energy? You know what I'm saying? Feeling a little bit robotronic. And is it the proper energy that I'm giving off? Right. And the energy that you want to give off in my marriage, right now, today, the energy that I have to give off is confidence. It's confidence. Oh man, what's the word? Certainty. Certainty. Whew, bruh. Certainty is like, I don't like Red Bull. I think Red Bull is garbage. I don't know how people drink that. But Red Bull, it's kind of like that, where you drink it, you just kind of power up for a couple hours. It's like, that's what certainty does. It gives you power, and your wife can see it. I mean, there's been times where I'll be in the shower getting ready for work, in the shower cleansing myself, right? And preparing myself for the world in many different ways, spiritually and physically, and being clean and being cleansed and washing all that nastiness away, spiritually, physically, emotional, everything. Just anything that doesn't serve, wash it all away, get out, put some clothes on, walk out. And I notice, and I don't notice, but I notice. And I can walk out and I can feel her looking at me. I can feel her just like, man, this man is mine. That's crazy. And he's not even mine. He's not mine. That's the thing. But I get at this period of time in this lifetime, I get to be with him. That's amazing. And I'll feel that, and I'll turn around and I'll go, I know, because there's a certain, I know how to, like, throw a thought into her mind and make her get hot. It's crazy. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. But it's a gift that I knew that I've always had. I've always known I had this, but I was always afraid to use it, and I didn't know if it really worked. And then I was being really timid. And when you're timid, you give the energy of neediness. When you're timid, you're like, is it working? Can I do this to you? Can I da 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 da? You know, I had a girl tell me one day, at a period of time in my life, she goes, this is gonna sound crazy. I was like, whoa. She goes, in the confines of a relationship, she hates consent. I was like, what? You're like the only girl on this planet that I know of that she was like, I don't like consent, because what she wants is domination. And I was like, man, how come I didn't understand that? We grow up and it's like, be nice. The other day, Tamara was like, saying something to my boys. My wife was saying something to my boys. Be nice to the girls. Be nice. Be nice. And I'm thinking like, man, I don't even know if she should be saying the word nice to them like that. Be nice. Be nice, because that being nice doesn't really get you. If you want to be in a relationship and you want to be in a long-term relationship and be with this person long term, 12, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, being nice is not the main thing you're trying to do. I think it's a spice that you want to drop into your life, a little bit of it, but nice necessarily, especially in the very beginning, nice doesn't work. If you're trying to court, if you're trying to attract a woman, nice to me doesn't sound like the proper way. I would say certainty. Certainty is that proper way, and you use that within your marriage. When you use certainty in your marriage, she will submit. There's a lot of different things you got to do as well. Certainty is going to be part of that. It's going to be a major part of that. Major part of that. Ginger tea, baby. Yes, sir. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Yeah. So Tresho9, everybody, thank you for tuning in once again. Thank you for being here with us. And my wife is, she even has a mic right here waiting for her, but she got too sleepy because we were trying to get this thing started and it just wasn't working right. But we're gonna start doing Friday nights. We're gonna do some DJing as well. I do a DJ, so we're gonna throw some music in the mix and do that. But we are gonna be talking about relationships. We're gonna get open about relationships. We're gonna get real. One of the things that I love to do and I have a passion for is helping men be their best and helping men navigate through the storms of relationships and letting them know that they can do it if they want to. There's a lot of men that kind of give up, and there's a lot of women that give up. But if men really want to be in this relationship, and a lot of the men that are like me, I am an advocate of the underdog because I am the underdog. I did not know how to communicate. I stuttered. I couldn't speak at all. And I hated public speaking. And now those things are completely opposite now. I live for public speaking. I will jump to the occasion to public speak. And yeah, I'm that underdog. I'm that person that just wasn't, I didn't have the social dynamics. I didn't understand it. Nobody taught me. No one taught, there's not one person on this effing planet that taught me social dynamics. Not one. Oh, no. Hold on. Let me think. No, I'm lying. I'm lying like a mug. Okay. This is probably a really good story, actually. Yeah. So there was a couple women, there was a couple girls at the time in high school, friends of mine that were seasoned. Okay. I'll just put it to you like that. They were seasoned. And what I did was, instead of being their lover, because I was just too afraid, to be honest with you, I didn't know what the heck was going on, but I knew how to be their friend. I knew how to talk to them, and I was always hanging out with them. It was crazy because guys would come to me and go, "Man, you got to be hitting that, right? Tell me you're hitting that. Tell me." Like, these two girls are like, everybody wants to hit these girls in high school. And I was like, nah, actually, I'm not. I would be at their house. I became like the boy toy, I guess, or the dog, if you will, of their relationship. And And it turned out really good. And that's the only time I've ever successfully been friends with a woman. And truly, like, because it wasn't that I didn't want to, is that I was so afraid. Oh my gosh, I was terrified of these girls. But what I did know is I did know how to be their friend, I guess. And they actually gave me game. They a little bit. They gave me game, and I look back, it almost makes me tear up just to think about it. So when I look back at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, they were literally saying what I paid for in some gurus. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I remember this one thing because they did teach me about social dynamics. And I remember one of the girls saying, oh, I have a picture of her too. My daughter sent me a picture. I know it's like, what? Why did your daughter send me a picture of her? My daughter was at my mom's house, and my mom was sharing all this. My mom still has photos of me and my ex-girlfriends. Doesn't make any sense. Oh my goodness, I was so shy and just I could not talk. I barely can talk right now. I don't have the photo. Where is the photo? But anyway, what she said was, my friend in high school, this girl, she said, because I would ask her questions and she would hit me to the game. She said, Mark, you gotta be, how should I say this? You gotta pull out. And not like that, but you gotta always have one foot in and one foot out. And when you're talking to a girl, let's say you're talking to her, you're liking her, you're talking to her, you have to have an out. You have to have an out. You got to, let's say it's 1 hour is too long. That's way too long. You went way overboard if you're talking for an hour. You're good with, I forgot what she said exactly, but 15, maybe 30, 35-ish. Back in the day when you're trying to, you're on the phone with a girl and talking to a girl, trying to get to know her in high school, maybe in middle school too, whatever. She says, have an out. Hey, listen, I gotta go. I gotta do some responsibilities. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. But we'll talk later. Well, when are we gonna talk? I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I'm really busy. And it's funny because I say that right now, and I'm like, man, I forgot that. I forgot that, and I giggle because like I'm laughing just because, man, it's so true. Because you want to be on your purpose. She likes you for your ambition. You dig? She likes you for your ambition. That's what's drawing her to you. So in your marriage, when you say, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3, X, Y, and Z, right? And you don't do these things, whatever that is, you don't do it. She sees all that. And she's like, well, he's not even about his business, because he's not doing what he says he's supposed to be doing. He's not even doing it. So she actually loses interest in you. Gosh, man, this is good game, yo. This is good game. And these are the things you got to think about every day when you're in the shower, when you're working out. You got to think about these things. Okay, cool. And it's not like you're playing harsh. Just be on your purpose. Just be on your purpose. And then cool, you're good. This girl likes you. She's trying to come alongside of you. You're still going this way. And you're like, oh, she fell off. Okay, cool. You keep going. Yeah, why are you so mean? I don't even know what you're talking about. All I know is I'm trying to be over here doing my purpose. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't do the drama. Don't come with that drama. Don't come here with that. Right? But us, people like myself, that underdog, we're so afraid to tell the woman exactly what's going on. See, this is the thing that tell me how you feel. Tell me. They don't want to know your emotions. What they want to know is, hey, look, baby, you don't call her baby, but you're not going to treat me this way. Right? This is not how this relationship is working. This is not how you speak. I don't know who your ex-boyfriends, and you talk to them this and that, and every which way, and you cuss at them and this, and you say this thing, and you're all rude, and we're out in public, and you're cutting them down. I don't do that. Do it again, and we're done. Most men don't talk like that. You should be. You should be. If that is your girlfriend. If that is your girlfriend. If that is your main, that is your lady, right? That is the person that you are with. I'm telling you right now, these things, even in my marriage, I'm telling you right now, it's crazy how it works, because I even pulled this on. I'm married to my wife, and I even pulled this. What did I do? So basically, I wanted to show her a technique that I had learned. So I said, let's say I gave her the scenario, we're out in public, and we're out somewhere, right? And let's just say you were the waitress. Okay. You were the waitress, and you, on the receipt, on the bill, whatever that thing is, you give it to me, and you give me your number. And then I pull up and I go, what is this? Right? Shout out to AZD. I didn't make this up. He did. What is this? Well, oh, that's my number. For what? What do you want me to do with your number? I want you to call me. So I was running this scenario with her, right? And I said, here's what I would do. Here's knowing what I've just learned, what someone taught me. This is what I would do. I would say, I don't want your number. And this is I don't want your number. I don't really have time to call you. I'm not going to call you. Then it looks like I'm just chasing you. And that's not what I want to do. So if you want to talk to me, I'll give you my number, and you can call me when you're ready. And then we can hang out. And I don't do the texting and the phone call and the talk. We're just going to text to meet. And that's that. If you don't want that, then you won't call me. And then I can be about my business, because I'm already busy. As you can see, I'm out with my friends here, this, and that. And my wife was like, ooh, I'm going to take your number, but I don't want to, but I want to. She goes, even because my wife is super like, no, you got to chase me. You got to chase me. My wife she lives in the 40s and 50s. She's super old school, barefoot and pregnant. Like that's how she lives. That's her mindset. Right. It's always been that way. And she's been hated on for it. Trust me. Hated it. Women have hated her because of that. And I go, well, why are you going to take my number? So because you have confidence. You said it with such confidence. And because you're ambitious, you're moving, you are leading. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you have to remember, I have to recall this every single day. Every day I have to be like this. Every day. All day long. Not just in the morning, but when I come home, when I'm tired, I'm super tired, worked 8+ hours a day. There's days I work 10 hours a day. More than 10 hours a day. And sometimes I work 6 days a week. I've worked 7 days a week before. I've worked double shifts before. I've worked all night from 3 to 11. I'm sorry, from 11 to 7, and then to 7 to 3. It's crazy. And then come home, and women, they're not like, okay, he worked hard, let me just, not bother him and this. No. They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, whoo, you're here. Especially we have kids too. So it's like, whoo, your turn, tag, you're it. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just worked 12 hours, 14 hours. What the heck? But anyway, she's good about that. She's good about making sure I have food and making sure that I'm fed and taken care of and whatnot. And that's a beautiful thing. That is truly, truly a beautiful thing. And as we wrap this thing up, it's now that I know how to do this thing, and it won't take so long. We went swimming today at the Y, and so I didn't get home until 8 something tonight. And Hawaii right now, we're just in a heat wave. And Hawaii does it. It's weird because we stay about 85, 87, 88, barely hitting those numbers. But for some reason, if we don't have trade winds coming through the mountain, coming through the island, it's just hot. Even though it's 87 degrees, it's humid, and it is really, really, really hot. And the wind, the trade winds help it because they blow from I don't know the directions, but they blow this way. I don't know what that is, but they blow around, right? And without those winds, it's just like, yeah, the heat just, there's nowhere for the heat to go. It just sits. It just gets trapped, and then we're an island, so it's humid. And yeah, anyway, Tresho9, the relationship experience. We sharpen each other as men, and we are a team, you dig? And I believe that as an advocate for men and as an advocate for fathers, you dig? Because I'm also a father, and I didn't have this growing up. This is why I do what I do, because I didn't have it. And I've always wondered, why isn't somebody telling the truth? I'm a real life person. I'm not, no one's paying. I'm not getting paid. I got a regular job. You dig? Like, I'm on a couch with some stains and toys. You dig? You know, this is real life. We're here just doing life. And as we go, as we move forward, we learn, we grow constantly. Constantly. All right. Yes, sir. Peace. I'm out. It's late. We'll see you next week, Friday.